What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do another ranking video. We're going to be ranking the Donkey Kong Country boss fights. We're going to be starting off with the SNES trilogy of the Donkey Kong boss fights, and then we'll do the modern one, which is from the Donkey Kong Returns and Tropical Freeze. The Donkey Kong videos are starting. Nintendo ain't going to do shit with DK, so I'm going to do it instead. I feel like I said this a lot, but yeah, it's kind of true. But let's just go and get this started. These are not ranked in order, but yeah, let's go and get started. Now, some of the SNES Donkey Country boss fights haven't aged the best, I can say, but some of them are very cool and memorable, so yeah. First off we have is Naughty and also Really Naughty. Very naughty and really naughty. Basically, he just jumps around and you just jump on his head. He sometimes jumps really high, you gotta be aware of him, and yeah, that's about it. These go in like C tier, to be honest. I mean, both of them, they're basically the same fight, so yeah. Next up we have is the Queen Bee. This is from Donkey Country 1, if it ain't obvious. You basically have to throw a barrel at the bee and watch out for him. Yeah, I or her, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of really it. There's not much going on. I'll be honest, Donkey Country 1's boss fights were kind of rushed from what I've heard during development, but I guess I get a B tier for having slight difficulty, but not by much. Next up we have two of the same bosses here, Master Neki and Master Neki Sr. Basically, he throws coconuts at you, spits out coconuts at you, and then when he stops, you basically jump on him. Honestly, I'll give it bonus points for the difficulty, but that's about it, honestly. Next up we have is Dumb Drum. Basically, he just throws out a bunch of enemies. You gotta watch out for him when he slams. This is like a more boss endurance type boss rather than like an actual fight by him, but that's fine for what it is. And of course we have King K. Rool. The first King K. Rool fight, by the way, I gotta say, for his first attempt, he did a fantastic job, honestly. The Game Playing Galleon theme is still one of the best memorable songs. Honestly, it's still up there for one of my favorite boss fights, so A tier. Alright, sorry about that, I had to do something, but here we go, starting us off with now of the Donkey Kong Country 2 boss battles. I don't know if I'm gonna really count the secret levels like you do with, like, the secret King K. Rool fights in both 2 and 3, but I don't know, I'm not sure if I'll count that, to be honest, but let's just go and get started. First we have his Cudgel. He stomps the ground multiple times, he's swinging with his big ass, whatever you call those things, but and then you gotta wait for a bell to show up and you throw it at them. It's a pretty cool fight though, I'll admit, so A tier. Next up we have his Crow, and we're gonna talk about his ghost too. You basically have to wait for barrels to show. He basically throws a bunch of birds. Okay, the first fight, barrels fall down, you just gotta wait for him. This one is a little basic, so not by much. And the other one though, a bunch of other crows will start coming. And basically, you just gotta wait for a bell to come. This is easily the harder version, though, so yeah, but I don't mind the fight. Next up, we have is Clever. This is honestly one of the coolest fights, honestly. It's a literal sword attacking you. It's kind of funny. I like it, honestly. You just wait at the perfect timing to actually throw barrels at them. So, yeah, gotta give an A tier. This is a cool idea for a fight. Next up, we have oh god, King Zane. This is a boss fight I struggled hard with when I used to play this game. And, well, I get the hang of it. You basically have to hit the bee's stinger. Oh gosh, that sounds bad out of context. And then when you hit her enough times, they transform to small bees. You just gotta hit them 3 times until you get the hit. You have to use squawks to do this. So, it can be a bit of a difficult fight, but it's a very satisfying one. And last but not least, Captain K. Rool. If there's one final boss that stood out to me, even to this day, it's Captain K. Rool. He uses blunderbuss to shoot cannonballs, poison, sometimes can make your controls reverse. You gotta wait for a cannonball to show up, you just gotta throw in his blunderbuss. Gotta be honest, this is one of the best boss fights in video game history, and I mean that literally. And now we have the Donkey Kong Country 3 boss fights. Here we go. First off, we have his Belcha. There's not much I can say with this one. You throw barrels at him, he burps, he sends him all the way back. You just gotta keep pushing him back until he falls. Not much to say about this one, but yeah, it's a B tier. It's fine, I guess. Next up, we have his Chaos, not chaos, chaos, whatever, however you say it. This is honestly one of the coolest fights, and I mean both versions. You basically have to wait to when he shows platforms to climb up him and just jump on his head. To be honest, it's one of the cooler fights in Donkey Kong Country, honestly. So A tier. Next up we have is Bleak. Oh boy, he gives you nightmares probably. He's a freaking talking snowman that throws snowballs at you and shoots, yeah, from his hat though? Oh gosh. And basically you need to throw snowballs at him in the perspective. Gotta be honest, it's one of the harder fights, but when you beat it, it's so satisfying. So, yeah. Barbos! Oh god, I hated this fight, and to this day, I still hate it. He shoots projectiles at you at different angles. You have to wait at the right timing to shoot urchins at him. I'm not a fan. Oh god, I don't know if to put in C tier, but I don't know. I also on boss fight underwater. Not a fan. All right, next up we have is Urch, if I said that correctly. Basically, that's one spider in Donkey Kong Country 3 that you have to wait for a barrel to show up and you just hit him from below. Definitely not a hard fight, but not a very fun one either. B tier. And last, okay, not yet. I almost thought we were done. Squirt! This is an interesting idea for a fight, honestly. Even if it's more of a waiting game, honestly. You basically use Ellie the Elephant to shoot water into his eyes. Definitely an interesting idea for a fight, but nothing too crazy other than that. Lower A tier. And last but not least, Baron K. Rulenstein. Of all the King K. Rool fights, this is the one that just drags out longer than the other two. But when you beat it, it's so satisfying. The music is nice and catchy, and you basically just have to, again, throw barrels at him when dodging a bunch of electricity. So, yeah, it can be a bit brutal, but also can be satisfying when you beat it. So, yeah, A tier. Alright, and that's the Donkey Kong Country Trilogy boss fights ranked, the SNES trilogy per se. I will rank the Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze boss fights. I kind of feel like ranking them separately since they kind of are different types of games. I mean, they're Donkey Kong Country games, but you know they have different concepts. So yeah, but yeah, Captain K. Rool is the best one. No need to argue. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. What's your favorite boss in Donkey Kong Country on the SNES? Let me know in the comments below. Later, folks.